So advertising on Facebook and Instagram, you got a problem. Basically, you start with a problem. So actually, we have two huge problems. The first one is that people on Facebook and Instagram and in social media in general aren't looking to buy products. So they're not in shopping mode, like they're like in discovery mode. So it's basically people who want to see what their friends are doing, interact with other people, watch videos, read content, and also, yes, interact with brands, but in a different way, mostly for customer service. So what we need to do as marketers is to grab their attention first. So that's the number one issue that we need to solve. We need to grab their attention first. Problem number two is this nice quote which has been attributed to several people, including John Ford. And half my advertising spend is wasted. The trouble is I don't know which half. That is actually true. It's true when you, for example, when you run TV campaigns or radio campaigns or even display campaigns or out-of-home campaigns. So you're just trying to push the message out, but basically most of the message will reach the wrong people. And I have to say that technical Facebook ads, I refer to Facebook ads because it's the same platform also for Instagram, as you know. So technical Facebook ads knowledge helps reduce the half wasted. So that's really important because when we approach Facebook campaigns, what we really need to do is to try to eliminate people who are not interested, so we're not ending spending money on the wrong people. Now, let's see today's topics. Tips on how to design your Facebook, Instagram advertising campaigns, how to create video ads that convert, reach relevant audiences near your shop. So I'll be also covering local campaigns if some of you have physical shops besides online stores. Create retargeting audiences to get more conversions, and use the pixel on your site to track sales and other conversions. So let's see. First of all, number one, how to design your Facebook, Instagram advertising campaigns. So remember what the first problem. We're just showing our ads to people who are there to do something else, not to buy our products. Probably they don't even know us, so we can't expect them to buy straight away. This happens, but usually the cost per conversion, the cost per sale can be so high that it's not convenient for us to try to push our products to people who don't know us. So we start by creating three main campaigns. This is my first advice. The first campaign should be video views. So you know that you have campaign goals. When you create a campaign, you need to choose an objective. So the first one should be video views. We want to reach potential customers. And so we start with the format which works best to do this for several reasons that I will explain to you shortly. So we start with video views campaign, and obviously we need videos. Second campaign is a post-engagement campaign that we will need to build a relationship with our potential customers. And the number three campaign will be a conversion campaign. So where we actually push out our products. So video views, why video views? Because for several reasons. First of all, we need to seduce our potential customers with short videos. So we can run video views campaigns that catch people's attention, where the objective is just to get video views. And usually when you run this kind of campaign, you also create a custom audience of people who watch the videos. So on Facebook, I will show you later on, you can create custom audiences, which are audiences of people who have done something. For example, watch your videos. And Facebook allows you to choose which of these people to include in your custom audience. So let's say we want people who are pretty interested in what we have shown them with the video. And so we choose to create a custom audience of people who watched at least 50% of videos. So we want to get rid of all these people who watched maybe 3 seconds or 10 seconds, because we assume that they're not interested in our content. Second campaign, it's basically we start doing retargeting, so sequential retargeting. We retarget people who watched the videos in the previous campaign. And also at the same time, we create a custom audience of people who engage on Facebook, on Instagram, and who visit the website, our website. So with the post-engagement campaign, usually we can use videos, we can use photos, we can use carousels, we can use different types of posts. What we want these people to do is to start to engage with us. So we want to, create some sort of relationship before we start pushing our products. Third campaign, conversion campaign. So it's time to sell, and we will use all the retargeting audiences that we have created along the way. And so we will end up retargeting people who watch the videos and also who engaged with our Facebook page and Instagram profile. So in order to get conversions, these conversions might be sales, might be signups, could be join events and so forth. So it depends on your type of business. So if you have a shop and are targeting local audiences, you can skip that part. You can simplify the campaign structure, because usually you will be targeting local people, so and likely people who already know your shop or probably are familiar with it, and so we don't need to go through all the funnel with them. We'll see shortly how to do this. Number 2, how to create video ads that convert. So videos, you heard this everywhere, basically work really well because people are more attracted to videos, and also because usually with videos you can learn and listen to new stories, and so people are usually more interested in videos than in photos or other types of content. And video ads can work really well also for local businesses, even if you're selling online. So that can be really of help, even if you are trying to get more online sales, even if you have a physical store, because usually if you create videos where you are in the video, for example, people might recognize you, so it's more likely to convert. Tips to get more sales with video ads. 1, target people close to your shops. So for example, you can target people within 1 or 2 or even up to, I guess, 50 miles. But usually if you're running a local campaign, you want to target people around the area where your shop is, unless they're willing to, travel a bit, and then you can also expand this the reach to people who are located far away. Be in the video. Number 2, when you have a local shop, if you are in the video, or even if you have like a very personal business, let's say, even if it's an online business, but there's like the founder is an important person in the business, because maybe he is like in this case, she's the mind behind the products, and she is also the one who use these products. Then it's really important that you start showing yourself and creating a direct relationship with your audience. 3, the video length is really important. They should be 15 to 30 seconds, and because the average watch time is just 6 seconds. So if you create 3 minutes videos, no one will ever see these videos. So it's better if you use short videos. And also if you are using, for example, stories, it's better if you keep it up to 15 seconds, so you can have this just one video in one story without splitting it across multiple stories. And for the format, is better, the dimensions is better if you use square videos or vertical videos, which are good for stories. 3, reach relevant audiences near your shop. I showed you before that you can target by adding, for example, your address, the address of your store. But if you really want to get even have a smaller area that you want to target, maybe you want to target really your street or your block, or maybe several blocks, but in very specific locations, for example, where the shops of your competitors are located, you can do so by adding your the address, and then by excluding other addresses by dropping the pin. So this is an advanced targeting way to basically reach really relevant people. And as you can see in this image here, basically I put the pin in an area, and then I just added all the exclusions to reduce the area I was targeting. So I was really interested in targeting people in that area. You can even go as small as targeting a building, for example, a stadium or a place where they hold concerts. So you can just have to play with your imagination. You can also obviously add interests to target these people in this area, so you don't need to just target everybody. You can still apply all the interests and demographics and all the options that Facebook makes you available. Number 4 and 5, I put them together because they're really close. So creating retargeting audiences to get more conversions, and also use the pixel to track conversions. So how does it work? Under the audience section of your Facebook Ads Manager, you have the option to create several types of audiences: saved audiences, lookalike audiences, and custom audiences. The custom audiences are the ones that are more interesting for us. And these are all the options available. I marked the 5 options that I think are more relevant and more interesting. So for example, website, you want to target people who visit your website. To do so, you will need to install the pixel. The pixel is just basically a few lines of code that you need to install on your website. And there are several options to install these codes. It depends on what kind of platform you are using. So if you're using, for example, Shopify or WordPress, it's very easy. Also, if you're using other standard platforms, if you're using a custom built solution, you can still do it, but probably you will need the help of your developers to do it. Then you can target customer lists. So you can upload a customer list and just target these people. So if you want to run a campaign, like to upsell something to these people, you can just upload your database and just target these people. You can also create retargeting audiences, as I anticipated, of people who watch the video. So if you click on video, you will have the option to choose how long and which videos they have been watching, and in what time frame. So for example, you can target people who watched at least 50% of all your videos in the past 60 days. That's an example of a custom audience that you can build. And then you have Instagram business profile and Facebook page. So you can basically retarget the people. So target the people who engage with your Instagram profile and your Facebook page. So it's like, if you just want to target these people, you can do it by creating these custom audiences. There's also another option which is interesting. I didn't mark it, but it's really interesting. It's the shopping one. Yeah, you can see on the first column. The shopping is basically, you can target people if you use shoppable posts. So if you have like Instagram posts that you can shop, you can target the people who interact with these, with those kind of posts. So that's another option that you have. So this is the example of the custom audience that you can create if you want to target website visitors. You can specify if you want to target all website visitors, or maybe people who visited specific pages in the past 30 days, 3 days, 2 days, whatever it is. And also you can target people from your events. So if you have like custom events or standard events, for example, you want to target people who added products to the cart but didn't buy the products, you can create campaigns and target these people for the next, let's say 1 day or 2 days, and try to convert them because they just abandoned a cart, but maybe they can still be interested in buying your products. There's a bonus tip. So far I just talked about, let's say, technical aspects of the campaigns, but of course these are just one side of the medal. You also, it's also really important what message you deliver and how you create your ads, how you create your visuals. So that's really important. And I always, and in most cases, there are a lot of people who don't have any advertising background. So it's really important that if you don't have a background in advertising, or if you haven't run a lot of campaigns in the past, it's really important that you start learning also the foundations of advertising. So there are some like rules that it's really important that you know. So I put together a few ideas and just some examples of great ads, and what you can see is that in most cases you don't have to create difficult, let's say, complex visuals. Usually the best ads are really simple, and there's a strong idea behind that. So basically it's great copy and creative visuals. There are some examples here from famous brands, but as you can see, these ads are really powerful but really simple. Like in this case, so 1,000 songs in your pocket. You might remember this campaign, the first iPod campaign, if you're old enough to remember when it went out. Or this is a very recent campaign, also from Apple, sound that cuts out the noise. So you also can play with words, like in this case, like it's a sound that can cut the noise. So you see at the beginning, you have active noise cancellation, which is the main benefit that Apple wants you to know about this product. And then they use a soundbite to make you remember the product strongly. And you can also see this other smart and very nice campaign from IKEA that it went out when Prince Harry got married. So don't worry, Harry is still available, and you can see that the name of the chair is actually Harry. So this is another very powerful and very simple campaign. Probably it was really inexpensive to produce. This is another campaign, even without any copy. You can just see the car seat, 217, and you can see the brand of condoms, 250. So this is another powerful one by Colgate, and you just, you get attracted to this. If you see this kind of visuals when you scrolling your newsfeed, you will probably stop for a moment and just to see what it is, because they're so powerful. Bonus tip number 2, long form posts usually convert better. So this is an example of a campaign that I've been running a while ago, and it was for a skincare brand in the UK. And as you can see, these are all retargeting ads, conversion ads. So basically the ads that we used to sell. And you can see that all have besides one, all have long form content. So I marked these areas in the central ads where you can see all the benefits listed. So if you if you write a lot, you can write and you can describe all the benefits of your products, which is really important. And also you can use some techniques, some copywriting techniques like scarcity, urgency, and the likes. For example, due to limited stock supply, each customer is limited to 2 units per order. Obviously, it wasn't true, but it was just there to, you know, to make you think probably there is a strong demand for this product. And so they even limited the availability for each customer. And you can also see below the bonus, there's always this copy which says limited availability before the link. And so, and also visuals, which are quite simple, mostly focusing on prices and discounts, because it was a flash sale. So that was really important as a driver to get more sales. A real case, I have a case that I want to share with you. It's a luxury hotel in the Italian Alps. So imagine winter and cold. Imagine what you don't have in Singapore, actually. And we got a very high ROIS for this brand, which was really challenging because the hotel was brand new and it was the first winter season, so nobody knew anything about the hotel. It is one of the most expensive hotels in the Italian Alps, so, and that didn't help. Located in an area which is not among the most popular, so it's not like one of the most famous areas. It's an area where you really want to go. And the advertising budget was extremely low compared to the, you know, the positioning of the hotel, and that happens quite often. And also we didn't have basically any real good content to run the ads. So we didn't have like videos or the photos that we needed to run the ads. So we had to come up with just, you know, some ideas and some solutions. And we got in touch with a freestyle skier and also with a yogi. We got in touch with them and we asked if we could use their the videos that they were posting in exchange for a holiday at the hotel that actually they didn't use. And we used their videos. So we created a few videos. We designed the campaign as with the same structure, with the same funnel that I shown you at the beginning of this presentation. And we also got some free footage and some old videos, and we created these very short videos that worked really well. I'm about to show you just the preview. And basically, we only used retargeting audiences for conversion ads. So we didn't try to, you know, target cold audiences because they were likely not converting. Because, you know, when you want to buy, like, if you want to book a holiday, it's something that you're not going to do straight away. You probably need time to think about it. So we wanted to create this, we wanted to attract the people. We wanted to start building their, getting their interest. And then we started pushing out the ads, asking them to come and book their holiday. And these are the 4 main ads that we used. And we used like, the first one is the video from the skier who went off piste just to, you know, do some really, some sort of extreme things. And they got a lot of interest and many shares from the people who watched it. And obviously we used that video to get people attention. So that was like the first campaign, the video views campaign. Then we also used another video where we started to show them what was possible, what people could do at the hotel. So it wasn't just, we weren't just focusing on the hotel itself, but on the things that you could do if you were to spend some time at the hotel. And so like heli ski and other sports like climbing and other things. And also we show them other ads, for example, flying over the Alps with a GoPro and also we show the yogi videos. This girl is quite crazy. She does all these yoga poses in extreme conditions, and that worked really well because we spent not even 2,000 euros, and we got 18 bookings for the holidays for conversion value of more than 19 euros. So we got this ROAS, a return on ad spend of 10.41, which means for every euro we spent, we got 10 euros 41 back. So that worked really, really well. And yeah, that was it. So if you, I will go through the questions, and if you need help with your ads, you can get in touch with me, obviously. And if you're interested in doing it yourself, maybe you want to consider getting a course. I have a Facebook ads course, which is online, so you can do it anytime. It's not live, and so it's easy for you to join if you are interested. We'll stop the sharing now, so I can go back to the questions and see if you have any questions. Okay, I can see we have a question from Yvonne from Brighton. Hi, Yvonne. What do you say if I'd like to attract from different European countries? It's basically the same thing. It depends on what kind of product you sell. I would start with like the easiest country. So, for example, if you already have customers, let's say in France, I will start with France, and I will create a campaign in France to make tests. I wouldn't run all campaigns in every country at the same time. I would prefer to test one country and see what works, and then just replicate the campaigns across the other countries. If possible, it's better if you target people in their own language. But if it's an international product, you can afford to even use English as the language for the campaign in every place. Yeah, there aren't other questions. Yeah, there is another one from Tim. What kind of media budget should we be looking at initially for a small market like Singapore? How do we budget for a campaign, media creation, media budget, agent fees, etc.? Okay, media budget. Usually, what I do is if I don't, let's say, if I don't have a fixed budget, so if I don't have like, I don't know, 1,000, and I say it depends on what I can reach with 1,000, I would say start by creating some audiences and see how many people are in these audiences. So if you're interested in people aged, let's say 30 to 40 with some specific interests in a specific area, then if you start planning this campaign on the ads manager, then you get a number of people. And if you start building the campaign and you assign also, you pick a budget, Facebook will suggest you the number of people that you can expect to reach with that sort of budget, and also the number of conversions that you can expect to receive. And that's a good way to start. So usually you start with a small budget to start testing, and then once you understand what your cost per conversions are, which like how many conversions you can get with that amount of money, then you can focus on, okay, maybe if I put some money on it, some more money, I can just scale the campaign and get more conversions. So at some point, once you have the initial figure, you can just try to lower the cost per conversions by refining your target audiences and by improving your ads, and also by allocating the budget differently. I don't know if that makes sense. What type of budgets? This is another question from Yeli. What type of budgets do we need for a new brand for the 3 steps? It depends. Same answer. So it depends on how many people you want to reach, because that's really the number one issue. So if my target audience is like 1 million people, and basically I need let's say $3, $5 to reach at least 1,000 people. You just do the maths and see how many people you can reach. So it really depends on the size of the audience, and yeah. And Tim was also asking about media creation, media budget, agent fees. With regards to the agent fees, there are many different options. Basically, every agency charges different figures. It depends. For example, you can find agencies charging you a percentage of the media spend with a minimum if the budget is too low, and that commission could be between 10 and 25% of the media spend. You can also find agencies that only work performance based, so they're paid when they only get conversions, but it's not easy to find these agencies, especially when you are starting out and you don't have any history, and so they cannot predict what their cost per conversions is going to be. And for media creation, that really depends on the content you want to do. I wouldn't invest too much on video creation. Usually the videos that work best are like videos that don't look like ads. So most of the time you can just create your video ads with your phone or with a nice camera, but usually you don't need like an incredible equipment unless you want to, shoot. You're a like big brand and you want to shoot like a very professional ad. But otherwise, it's really, you don't really need to do it, especially if you're, for example, running local campaigns. And you want to be in the video. It's more important that you do more videos yourself than to do like perfect videos, extremely expensive, that maybe don't work. Nadia is asking, what about IGTV? Is it worth spending time on that or focus more on stories? Well, IGTV is can work really well. Especially for like if you do video tutorials. So if you need to do long videos where, for example, if you're a skincare brand and you want to show many video tutorials where you can, then you need like longer videos usually, and you can use IGTV, which can work really well because the time spent on watching videos increases because obviously people on IGTV are there because they want to watch videos. So the average is not 6 seconds. And Yvonne is also asking, how often should I run a video campaign, per month, week? Usually I have video campaigns running all the time. What I do is just to, at the beginning, I run several videos just to see which works better, and then usually I find like 1 or 2 of these videos might become like evergreen videos that I always use, and then I just replace the other ones. But basically, I want to sponsor videos all the time because the more people watch the videos, the larger my retargeting audience becomes. Yes, at the same time, you can run any number of videos. You can start like with a magic number. You start with 3 videos, and then you see which one works better, and you keep that on, and you pause the other 2s, and then you make new ones based on the results of the previous video. Yes, every day. Campaigns should be on all the time. So you want to create this kind of a content library which is sponsored, and so you want to have this funnel that goes on and on, where basically the custom audience itself updates all the time, because the more people watch the video, the larger it gets. And then you have other posts which are targeting that audience, and then you have other posts for conversions targeting the audiences that engaged with your brand. So yes, it's something that you have to do over and over if you want it to be effective. All right, looks like we don't have any other question. Maybe there's something in the Q&A. I'm a creative freelancer and often face clients who have super low budgets. How do you work with that? That's really, well, that's pretty common, to be honest. Usually, I always separate the media budget and my fees, obviously, and usually I don't apply like the commission-based fees, because when the budget is too low, you end up getting nothing, and the time you spend is always the same, or sometimes the less money they have, the more time you have to spend, and you don't want to do that. And so I just explain to them that if they want to target like 1 million people, it's going to be useless, because they don't have enough money to do it. And so they will likely get nothing out of the campaigns. So I usually start with €5 or dollars a day per ad set. So I start with a campaign, and then I create like, let's say 3 different ad sets targeting 3 different audiences, and I put just $5 a day each. And then I just show them how many people we reach, and if they're likely to increase that amount, I will both increase the amount of the ad sets and also create new ad sets to test different audiences. Okay. I think we are done.
Okay. Perfect. Hop là. Okay, so thank you so much. I think there is another question from Yeli.
Do you help with content creation or only with performance testing? No, I do content creation because, or I can even coordinate and lead remote content production teams. That's something that happens all the time, because I've been running and working with clients in many different places. And so in some cases, they need a local production team, because, for example, they need to shoot like products that they have locally, and or they need to, you know, make a video of the shop, and so you need to be there. So what I do is to provide them with some references, and also of the types of videos and content that they need to produce, exactly the content that they need to produce, and then I help them to do it remotely. And then I also create ads, especially conversion ads in-house, let's say, with the photos that they send me, because usually for the copy and the, let's say, conversion ads are really important that you come up with the right creative and the right visuals. So it's something that, yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's all for today. But thank you so much, Andrea.
Thank you.
Very relevant.
Yep. Thank you very much.
especially during this COVID-19, where everybody had to rethink about the digital strategy. So thank you so much. Very nice.
Thank you everybody, and hope you're all safe wherever you are. And if you have questions or want to reach out, just send me an email.